Chemical weapons. This is a broad category of weapons that use the toxic properties of chemical substances to kill or injure. The use of chemical weapons in warfare is strictly prohibited by the Chemical Weapons Convention. This ban covers all types, including blister agents like mustard gas that cause severe burns to the skin and lungs, nerve agents like sarin and VX that attack the nervous system, causing paralysis and death, and choking agents like chlorine gas that destroy the lungs. Their indiscriminate and agonizing effects make them one of the most feared and widely condemned weapons. Poison and poisoned weapons. This is one of the oldest and most fundamental prohibitions in the laws of war, codified in the Hague Regulations. It is strictly forbidden to use poison or weapons that have been treated with poison as a method of warfare. This rule prohibits acts such as contaminating an enemy's water sources with a poisonous substance or treating bullets or blades with a toxin. This ancient taboo was one of the first to be formally written into modern international law. Riot control agents. While riot control agents like tear gas are used by police for domestic crowd control, their use as a method of warfare is prohibited by the Chemical Weapons Convention. The primary reason for this is to prevent the slippery slope of chemical use in combat. A belligerent using tear gas might provoke the enemy to retaliate with more lethal chemical agents, leading to a dangerous escalation. Therefore, while riot control agents may be held for law enforcement purposes, their use as a method of warfare is prohibited by the Chemical Weapons Convention. Biological weapons. A biological weapon is an even more insidious weapon that weaponizes biological agents or toxins. The use of biological weapons is banned by the Biological Weapons Convention. This includes deliberately spreading deadly diseases like anthrax, smallpox, or plague as a weapon. The danger of biological weapons is not just their lethality, but their ability to spread uncontrollably through a population, creating a devastating epidemic that cannot be contained to the battlefield. Anti-personnel landmines. An anti-personnel landmine is a type of mine designed to explode from the presence or proximity of a person, injuring, killing, or maiming them. The 1997 Ottawa Treaty bans the use, stockpiling, production, and transfer of these weapons. The reason for the ban is their indiscriminate nature. A landmine cannot tell the difference between a soldier and a child. They remain a deadly threat to civilians in former conflict zones for decades after a war has ended. It is important to note that major powers, including the United States, Russia, and China, have not signed this treaty. Cluster munitions. A cluster munition is a conventional munition designed to disperse or release multiple explosive submunitions over a wide area. The Convention on Cluster Munitions prohibits the use, production, and stockpiling of these weapons. The primary reason for the ban is their indiscriminate area effect and the fact that a significant percentage of the bomblets often fail to explode, effectively creating a minefield that remains a deadly threat to civilians for years. Like anti-personnel mines, this treaty has not been signed by the US, Russia, or China. Certain booby-traps. The Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons places strict limits on the use of booby-traps. It is expressly forbidden to create a booby-trap that is attached to or associated with apparently harmless portable objects, such as children's toys, medical supplies, food and drink, or internationally recognized protected emblems like the Red Cross. This rule is designed to protect civilians and to prevent the perversion of objects that should be safe into hidden, deadly weapons. Booby traps causing superfluous injury. In addition to the rules on specific objects, it is also prohibited to use any booby trap which is designed to cause superfluous injury or unnecessary suffering. This does not refer to X-ray undetectable fragments. It refers to booby traps designed to cause superfluous injury or unnecessary suffering, while the separate ban on fragments that escape detection by X-rays appears in Protocol 1 on non-detectable fragments. Incendiary weapons. Incendiary weapons, like napalm or thermite, are not completely banned, but their use is heavily restricted by Protocol 3 of the Convention on Certain Conventional Weapons. It is strictly prohibited to make civilian populations the object of an attack by incendiary weapons. It is also illegal to use air-delivered incendiary weapons against military targets that are located within a concentration of civilians. These rules are designed to protect civilians from the horrific burns these weapons cause. Non-detectable fragments. It is prohibited to use any weapon whose primary effect is to injure by fragments which are not detectable by X-rays in the human body. This rule was created to prevent the development of weapons made of plastic, glass, or other materials that would be impossible for a surgeon to find and remove from a wound. This is considered a method of warfare that causes superfluous injury or unnecessary suffering, as it would make treating the wounds nearly impossible. Hollow point bullets. The 1899 Hague Declaration concerning expanding bullets specifically banned the use of bullets which expand or flatten easily in the human body. This is generally interpreted to mean hollow point or soft point ammunition. The reason for the ban is that these bullets are designed to expand upon impact, creating a much more severe wound than a standard full metal jacket military bullet. While widely used by police forces to prevent over-penetration, their use is prohibited in international armed conflict between nations that are party to the convention. Small explosive projectiles. This is one of the oldest prohibitions in modern international law, dating back to the St. Petersburg Declaration of 1868. This declaration banned the use of any projectile with a weight below 400 grams, which is either explosive or charged with flammable substances. The original intent was to prohibit the use of small, exploding anti-personnel bullets that were designed to cause unnecessarily gruesome wounds, establishing the principle that the object of war is to disable enemy combatants, not to make their injuries as severe as possible. Blinding laser weapons. The Protocol on Blinding Laser Weapons specifically prohibits the use of laser weapons that are designed, as their sole or as one of their combat functions, to cause permanent blindness to unenhanced vision. The law was created preemptively to stop the development of weapons that would use lasers to deliberately and permanently blind soldiers. While lasers can be used for other military purposes, it is illegal to field laser weapons specifically designed to cause permanent blindness, and parties must take all feasible precautions to avoid blinding from other laser systems. Thanks for watching. Should anything be off limits in war? Or is that idea already broken? Let me know what you think in the comments. Also, please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video.